Welcome to my next The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2 episode review videos. I was able to watch the episode early on the YouTube AMC Plus channel. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you weren't caught up to the point where I am, and you're watching The Walking Dead Dead City, or you're just entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that's the case, you find if you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. If you're new to the channel or finding this channel out for the first time, welcome to the channel. If you're interested in The Walking Dead, I would suggest that you like and subscribe if you want to hear me talk about The Walking Dead, as The Walking Dead is my favorite TV show of all time. I've watched every iteration of The Walking Dead. I've reviewed all the episodes of the original Walking Dead show. I've reviewed and watched all the episodes of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, as well as The Walking Dead Dead City. Will continue to do so. I've even watched all of Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead World Beyond, which I haven't reviewed any of those episodes yet. I might in the future. Fear the Walking Dead, yeah, some of it was good, but most of it was bad. But I still enjoyed it for the most part. And The Walking Dead World Beyond, I thought I was going to hate it. I watched it in preparation for The Walking Dead The Ones Who Live, which I also covered on the channel. Forgot about that one. And other than the first couple episodes, I actually kind of liked The Walking Dead World Beyond. I didn't think I would even come close to saying I would like it, but I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't. I don't know, but I love talking about The Walking Dead. So if you're a Walking Dead fan and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure you Hulk smash the like button, share this video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of The Walking Dead Dead City. At the end of this video, with about 20 seconds left to go, what I'll do is I'll put my review to the Walking Dead series finale titled Rest in Peace right up there. Obviously, we know the show essentially is continuing through these spin-offs, but that was the series finale for some of those characters we might not see again. And I'll put different Walking Dead related videos, like my reviews for The Walking Dead The Ones Who Live, The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, and maybe like my seasons of The Walking Dead ranked, which I'm going to do a major Walking Dead seasons ranked, including all the shows. That should be interesting. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel. Help me get over 100K subscribers. Join the team. Show your damn support and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV. This will be The Walking Dead Dead City Season 2, Episode 5. The title of this episode is called The Bird Always Knows. And this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. We start with the Croat, who's in like a Men's Warehouse type store. He's got like a nice new suit on, and he's trying to find that matching tie, kind of checking himself out in the mirror. And then we have another person standing guard at like another building, gets a hatchet or axe thrown at their chest and is dragged away. Presumably that person is dead, although it's not 100% confirmed. And then these unknown people who we don't know actually enter this building, go to the fuse or breaker box and cut a cord so the power to 6th Avenue goes out. So where Radio Music City Hall is all lit up, that is no longer the case. And then the Croat, of course, is left in this store, this Men's Warehouse type store, with no power, and then a walker comes up to the door, and he just kind of looks at it. Pearlie and Maggie have a quick chat. Afterwards, Maggie goes to sit next to Herschel on this bench that's in like the middle of the field, and she asks about the Dama. And then Herschel asked Maggie what it was like seeing Negan. What did he say? The Croat has come to see the Dama with his new suit on. And then the Dama complains about them losing power on 6th Avenue. Dama's always complaining about something. Dama says the show must go on, and that's all that's left is for Christos and his band of savages to join them. Negan mentions to Dama if Christos joins, he gets his family back, right? Joshua and Annie. And that was the deal. And then the Dama is like, well, it's a shame that no one lives up to the hype. And she tells Negan to get Christos on board, and they are good. The Dama wants Negan to go see Christos alone. She doesn't want the Croat to go with because he apparently messes everything up. And then she tells the Croat to change out of that ridiculous outfit as he looks like a bellhop. He does look like a bellhop. And then Maggie, Pearlie, and Herschel return to the Forgers' base. That's that group that's kind of in the middle of the forest with all the tall weed, the tall, things. And they find out that Narvaez has actually detained Roxana as an enemy of the Federation. And Narvaez lets Pearlie know that she knows that he didn't execute Negan. He's like, yes, I did. And then Maggie's like, yeah, I saw him do it. I was there. And then, like, Ginny kind of steps up and, like, yeah, that's who told me. I know you guys are full of shit. And then Maggie tells Ginny that she knew she was going to see Negan. Narvaez asks where the methane is. And then Maggie wonders what happens after she tells her where the methane is. Herschel tells Narvaez that Negan can be trusted as he feels that he owes Maggie. Narvaez is going to ambush everybody, especially, and let the walkers take care of a bunch of people, and then she'll save Negan for Ginny. Then the Croat sees that the cord was cut when he goes to this building. Negan swings for the fences and hits a home run, killing a walker. Then he and his people that are accompanying him are surrounded by Christos' men. Pearlie talks to Roxana, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. She tells him a story about dying for nothing because he said something about, I don't want my kids to know that I died for nothing being in here. Negan is put in front of Christos, and Negan says he comes bearing gifts. Negan asks Christos if he's going to join the fight against New Babylon, and Christos says he told you last time, we're not interested in seeing what you're selling. And then Lucille is actually given to Christos by one of his men, and then Christos tells Negan, you're in my house now. And then Christos' kids, or some kids that are associated with his group, come in, and all of his attention goes to them, and he turns he all of a sudden becomes a really nice guy all of a sudden to the kids, not this macho guy, a really nice guy. And then Negan's I get it, there seems to be a misunderstanding, and says that he doesn't want to do anything that would jeopardize their lives. Maggie tries to rescue Pearlie and Roxana, and Pearlie says Narvaez will kill her if they catch her, and Maggie says she'll make sure that they don't catch her. Negan tells Christos that he can't sit this one out, he's got to do something, and then the Croat arrives unexpectedly. He accuses Christos of being the one that cut the cord of the fuse box, and he says this can't go unpunished. And then it turns out that the gas was on this whole time, and Christos' men start to drop and then die. Negan starts to get a little woozy, but they pull him out of there. The Croat put on a mask so he can stand there and breathe while this is going on. And then Negan is upset in the car, and the Croat says, don't worry, I didn't kill the women and children, I'm not a monster. Narvaez asks Herschel about the situation between his mom and Maggie. Herschel talks about trying to kill him once. Narvaez said if you couldn't pull it off, a 12-year-old girl will have to do it to him. And then Maggie comes in after Narvaez, and she's going to take care of Narvaez. And then Ginny comes in I'm on her side, Narvaez's side, and points a gun at Herschel. You heard her? I'll kill your son. I think Ginny means it too, although I'm not 100% sure. And then Negan complains to the Croat about how the Dama treats him. He tells him not to sweat the Dama. I got your back. More talk between Pearlie and Roxana. I don't know if she gives him it looked like a piece of gold for a second there. It was like a pebble or a rock, and talking about the significance of it, or I don't know. It's hard to see. Some of the things in this episode were hard to see, especially the beginning, where the building, they go into the building and cut the fuse box. And then we have the Croat and Negan are yelled at by the Dama because of the death of Christos. She tells the Croat, we'll speak about this once you've gotten a hold of yourself. Narvaez is going to hang Roxana. She tells her this is her last chance to change her mind. And she says she doesn't seem to care. She's like, I'm just going to do what all you are eventually going to do. And as she's about to finish her sentence, Narvaez pushes the thing away, so she is hung. And she is dead. And then the forgers start their moaning. We're going full Yellow Jackets here. This is what that group reminds me of, Yellow Jackets. And then Maggie is next to get hung. And the moaning has caused walkers to break through the gate. And then Maggie, the thing that she's standing on to not get hung, actually goes out of the way. And she starts to get hung. And then Ginny, who's fighting off walkers, comes to rescue. Turncoat Ginny, who pointed a gun at Herschel before, and now she does save Maggie. Otherwise, we would have lost Maggie right there. And then Maggie's actually going after Narvaez, who actually has Herschel. And then as she's walking forward, the freshly turned Roxana comes from the other way and attacks Narvaez and bites her. So it's wow. that sure backfired on you. And yeah, she'll die. And then the Dama goes in her quarters and sees that her cherished rat, is dead on the floor. And then we see a scene with Pearlie, Maggie, Herschel, and Ginny like resting. And Pearlie's looking at the thing that Roxana gave him, or Roxana. And then we see Ginny lift her shirt up, and she's got like a mark on her like right side. It didn't look like a bite. It looked more like a bad gash. But it's possible that Ginny's bitten. That, like, it doesn't look good. Or maybe it's just a gash. I don't know. But if you know for sure, let me know in the comment section. I even watched the after show, like the 5-minute thing after the episode, and it didn't clearly state that Ginny was bit. But the look on her face when she saw it, like, fuck, like not, if it was just a bad gash that she got cut on something, I think she'd just be like, shit, need to get this taken care of. But her look was like, damn it, I'm going to die. Anyway, then we have Herschel says, he starts talking to Maggie, real talk. He says the woman he drew was real. She was with the Croat. And Herschel says the Dama was actually nice to him, and they just talked. And then we have Bruegel and his men show up at the forger's place. And he says, it looks like I'm late to the party. And then we have the Croat who stops by the Dama's, her quarters. And we have a lot to discuss. We should waste no time. That's him talking outside her door. And then the Croat goes in and she doesn't answer. And then he sees the dead rat on the floor. And he kind of looks like confused by that when we're thinking that he's the one that did it. And then the Dama is in there and says, are you calling the shots now? I pulled you out the gutter. I should have let you die. You are nothing without me. And then the Croat yells at her, you're nothing without me. I've done everything for you. You haven't done anything. And then we have the Dama like grab Croat's hand and bite him. I don't know if she was infected by anything. I don't think she was. I think that's just how she fights. And then during this little scuffle, the Dama falls to the ground and it knocks over some things, and especially a candle. And then the room starts to light on fire. And the Dama's like pinned by this thing where she can't get up. And she screams for the Croat to help, but he doesn't care and just kind of runs off. And the Dama actually burns to death. I didn't see that coming. I thought she would be a character at least through this season, but she's gone now. And then we end the episode with Negan in his cell, and he's got his knife and he's pulling chunks of the rat off his shoe. So Negan is the one that killed that rat. I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think that would be him, but he's up to something. So actually a really good episode of The Walking Dead, Dead City. I like this one. This is the best episode thus far, although I want more clarification on what happened to Ginny. My characters of the episode, well, I'm going to score it an 8.8 out of 10. I want to cover that first. And my character of the episode, I would say Roxana, the Croat, and Christos. I think they were good. Ginny was good, but I don't know, she pissed me off too with the part with pointing the gun at Herschel. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, Dead City, or any iteration of The Walking Dead, remember I've covered The Walking Dead main show, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, The Walking Dead, Derek Dixon, and of course this Walking Dead, Dead City. If you're a fan of all that and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are about this episode of The Walking Dead, Dead City. What would you rate it? Who would you choose as a character of the episode? We lost a few characters, Roxana and Christos, and eventually we'll lose Ginny, maybe. I don't know. Remember, I'll put my Walking Dead series finale review, Rest in Peace, right there, along with other Walking Dead stuff at the end of this video. The Ones Who Live, Daryl Dixon, and maybe my seasons ranked. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel. Help me get over 100K subscribers. Yes, I know I set my goals high. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.